Good morning, good morning. Yes, the house. There is no one here. So, I thought we will have a look at the next Hero Arts February kit, which arrived late last week. So, you know. So, let's put that there. So this is what we're getting. Some dies, some cardstock, e-stamp set. Wait and see. Yeah, if you read it, you'll probably figure out what it is, and you've got it anyway, probably. Well, maybe, who knows. This is, as I said, February kit. This is the Hero Hues Pigment Unicorn, which I actually think I've got. I think I picked that up when I went to America back in April. So, yep, there you go. So, this probably won't get used. This will probably get moved on to someone else. But, you know, maybe it will go into my stash when I go away with the girls. That might actually happen. So, a little bit of twine, rustic twine, twine. Apparently it's 3 yards. As an Aussie, I have no idea how much that is in meterish or anything. I've got a yardstick from my great aunt, but I've never really converted it. So I will convert it and put it here. You have 6 sheets of premium white cardstock, which is 5.5 inches by 8.5. So that'll be fun. Honestly, because I'm Australian and our card bases are quite different, I've got this in comparison. Okay, so this card is obviously already scored. You will find that they are shorter. Can you see that? Obviously you can. And our card bases are a little bit longer. So yours is a little bit, if you've got a portrait style card, your cards are a little bit shorter and a little bit, let's say abundant. Let's say horizontally plentiful. Okay, but you know, it's still it's good cardstock. So what I'll probably use this for is probably stamping. I don't know how it goes with Copic markers or anything like that. If you know, leave me a comment down below and we'll see. So yeah, that's all right. These are all matching dies, clearly, for what I believe is this stamp set. So this is a fair bit of dies. So we've got a lot of bows in here, including there's 2 bows here. Oh, there's the long bow. I don't know what it would probably be. We call these like peace lilies. This would be like, you know, some sort of greenery, wheat sort of thing. I don't know. Butterflies. And then we've got lots of coordinating dies. I'm just having a look at them. So you've got envision, you've got peace, there'll be peace there, sending, choose, imagine. And then you've also got these different little tags, which would be fun because I have like a rounded sort of tag. I think it's more of a tab actually, but I think I've got a rounded tag. But some of these other ones I have not, so that would be fun. So how many times can I say so? This is, as I said, the February card making kit from Hero Arts. Let's put that there so you might be able to see it a little bit better and pull it out. And I'm going to have a little think, and we're going to do a little bit of maybe pulling these apart, and we shall see you very soon. Bye. Okay, so we are going to speed this up a little bit. It's still going to be a really long video, something like 2:23 3 or so minutes long, so bear with me. This cardstock, I was like, where am I going to start? This cardstock it's nice. It's premium. It's included in the kit. It's lovely. It's premium cardstock. We're going to have a little try and see how it goes with Copics. And it's okay. It's not like, it's doable. It's good. So, but it stamps up beautifully and it's lovely. So if you have some, go for it. But I still suggest like other bits and pieces for, like your Nina or Express It for Copic colouring. It's very, very hard to see. I've used the Contour ink by Hero Arts, which is a no line. It is super light on this cardstock, so you can sort of see it as like smudges on the screen just about, really. And of course I have stamped the sending in a darker ink. I've got the G99, YG17 and YG3 for all my greenery. Both the cards are going to use the same colours because honestly, let's be honest here, they're on my desk still, so in some ways I'm not lazy, but I am very selective on what I use my energy for. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, that sounds good. I am trying to make sure. It is a little bit hard with the no line colouring, especially this ink on this cardstock. It's really sucked it in and it's made it quite hard to see. But we're going to work with it. We're going to go with the flow. The sprigs here, I'm going to make them into lavender sprigs. It's not, well, no, they're not even really lavender. I know they're not lavender, but wisteria maybe? If you know, I don't know. Let me know in the comment box down below. So I've just used the die there just to sort of figure out where everything was going. I'm going to use the stippling technique on these, and I'm not really worrying and stressing too much. So I've got the BV08, BV04, BV02 for whatever these plants are. Seriously, if you know what these are, because I'm not a gardener. I don't mind gardening, but I'm not that much into it, and I don't know the names of all the plants. So seriously, if you know what these are, put it down in the box, because that would be awesome. I'm using the stippling technique for these. Now I'm getting very, very upright with my marker. This is going to give me sort of fine dots, so it is a little bit harder to see when I do this. I'm also going to use it for the lilies. Like the center of the lily is going to be done in the same technique because it's really hard to see. This vase, we've got the B97, 95, 93 and 91. I am still trying to work out my colouring of vases. This cardstock did make it be not so crisp, bloom a little bit. I think it's probably the spread bloom. I don't know. I'm not a trained artist, so I do what I like to do. Hopefully you find it a little bit interesting along the point some way or another. I am going to use a pencil on a couple of these things to just straighten out my lines, because as I said, the vase did sort of bloom a little bit, and the sprigs of the purple flower, the leaves, the stems, I have a really heavy hand. I do it really heavy, which is why quite often with my sketches I will replace the nib. These peace lilies are going to be white, so I'm pretty much just going around the edges. I'm putting shadow in the darker areas. So where my stamen is going to be over the top of the flower, I have gone around the edges just to make sure it's defined in this sort of situation. Again, stippling, as I said earlier. There's a little bit of freeing in this with no line colouring and stippling. It's not, you're not following what someone's drawn so much. So it is Easter Sunday. I am very late with this video, considering the card kit is February, but Easter Sunday. So tell me, what did you get up to this Easter break? Friday we had a family. We went down to a family and we had sort of extended families, sort of my parents and brother-in-law, parents, and that sort of stuff, all converged on one sister-in-law's house. The kids still did their Easter egg hunt, even though the youngest is 12. The next lot are sort of 16. I think he's turning 16 this year. And of course they're all up from there, but they love a good Easter egg hunt. So let me tell you about these Prismas. The Prismas I'm using are olive green for 911, and that's just trying to define my edges a little bit and straighten up my edges on my sprigs of whatever they are. This one is True Blue 903. Now it's a little bit brighter, so it's going to brighten up my pot just that tiny little bit. And as you can see there, I think I've gone a little bit off the image, but so the right hand side is a little bit die cut, a little bit close, but the other side is perfect. So I think I'm pretty 99% sure that he is my die cutting fault rather than anything else. But that's okay. As I said, you're not going to use it. So I've cut this down quite small. I have cut it down to 7.6 by 12 centimeters. And then I'm going to have another panel, spoiler alert, I'm going to have another panel that's basically 14.4 by 10 centimeters in the background. It's going to take me a little while to figure out. That's what I wanted to do. So the purple flower is glue down flat. The lily is propped up underneath the actual flowers and underneath the top of the leaves, but the base of it is glued down flat. This clearly has some foam on it to raise it all up. And I have used just a C3 and C1 to provide a little bit of a grounding. As you no doubt, if you've been with my channel for a little while, you no doubt I like to ground my elements. I've got glue in the center and a little bit of foam tape on either end just to make sure he's propped up. I did and ah about having another sentiment with this, but I decided that bow was something I was thinking about doing, but then I didn't obviously use it. I'm going to stamp this down, but this part I'm not actually going to use it. We're actually going to stamp it down in the center because I looked at it and I went, I just don't like it. Don't like it at all. And you could see on that where I stamped the happiness or stamped healing. Let me look at the card. Healing. I actually use, if I'm not too sure of the colors, I will actually get a scrap piece of cardstock and put them, test them out and see how it goes. If I like it, obviously I can tweak things if I don't like it. I've got a little bit of the twine that was included in the kit, and I'm going to use a glue dot just to attach those to my card. At the moment, I've just got a whole card base, which has got a grey, which is a smoky slate colour with a Stampin' Up. I've got lots and lots of their colours of cardstock. I used to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator ages ago, but I've stocked up and I've got some friends who still can supply me, shall we say. I have used the Paper Rose hand stitching 1 embossing folder. And I thought about putting it on the card base, but then the logistics of trying to send it through. I know you can do it, the whole card base, but I decided not to. And I'm actually going to trim this down. This is going to be the 14.4 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So it gives me a little bit of a room around the edges for that white to come through, because we've got a lot of white on the panel and of course white in the flowers. So this is just going to add a little bit of interest with the embossing, and the white in the card base is actually going to just blend it all in together. What you're not going to see is I'm actually going to put some clear drops on it, but you know me, I do it all the time. I decided this would have, because I didn't want it needed an ending, but I didn't want it on the front, so we're going to put it in the middle, sending healing. So sending healing thoughts, sending healing, it was nice. I have laid out all the images I want to use in this one. There is one butterfly that I am not going to use, but that's okay. That's all good. As I said, we're going to use the Copics, all the same colours all over again. Of course, it's a little bit easier because we've got the darker line on them, so it cuts out some of the thinking and some of the worry of where it all is. But we've got the B97, 95, 93 and 91. As I said, let's go back to Easter. My family usually has the Lolly Man. Now, it was decided not to do it this year. My eldest was going to be involved, and one of my nephews was going to be involved. For some reason that changed. Aiden doesn't always, when he was little, it's different now, but when he was little, he liked to be chased, he liked to be joining in, but then he'd get overwhelmed with someone chasing him, and so he prefers to be a little bit of it involved, sort of thing. So he chased my nephew around, tackled him. There was Easter eggs going everywhere. There was a dog. No, the dog did not eat the chocolate. Tackling the said nephew. Rest assured, the dog is healthy and has not eaten any of the chocolate, because that's a big no-no. But all the girls, they just sit back and they collect all the Easter eggs. There was a couple that got involved in the tackling of the cousin, but it's nice. All my cousins are overseas. I don't have too many, so it's quite nice that my kids have grown up with their cousins, and pretty much most of them all get along, So that's really nice, and I'm happy that they've had that opportunity to just have some time together. So yeah, so we have that, and then yesterday we didn't do too much, and then off this morning to church for Easter Sunday, and my middle child has just come around, picked up his Easter eggs, and he's off again. But it's all good. It's all good. He's a busy boy. He came, he gave me chocolates, and so he's sweet. So again, we've got the violet combination with the ribbon. I try to, as I have said previously, where things overlap, I am trying to provide where the loop of the bow goes around the back. The center of that is going to have a highlighted area. It's going to be darker in the middle because it's going to be scrunched up a little bit as well. Where the bow has the ends, right where they connect, that's going to be a little bit darker. And I provided a little bit, this particular one is really pretty. Well, they're all pretty, but this one I really like because he has that little bit of a twist in the ribbon. So that's going to be a little bit darker because that's going to be it's twisted around a little bit. The light is not going to be hitting it quite as much as the other ones. With the leaves here, this one that is looped over, that's going to be a little bit darker because it's underneath the top of the leaf. And I like to do my center of my leaves to be a bit darker, where you're going to have the veins and the outside a little bit lighter. This also helps with other leaves sitting on top of it. In this situation, we've got the flowers. So the center of the flowers are going to have a little bit more, these are going to be white as well. But generally speaking, the center will be a little bit darker. It'd have other parts, of course, that would be darker as well. If you had things like roses that are very like bent over and all that sort of stuff. But this also helps to have that definition. So if these lilies were green, I don't know if you have green lilies. As I said, I'm not a gardener. But having that lighter edge on, like where the leaf is hitting the flower, it's going to be darker. But the flower itself, that edge is going to be lighter. So it's going to help define the two elements of the image. And again, we've got a YR 27, 24, and 21 for the center. And again, I'm just using stippling, but I'm not stressing with this whatsoever. Again, the flowers are going to be white, so I am basically providing a little bit of the shadow. So the stamen in the center is going to provide a little bit of shadow onto the leaf, and then you pretty much don't even touch the background because we've got the outline of this flower, so we don't need to worry about helping it to be defined a little bit. I'm just about ready to die cut all these babies out. And I'm going to use a little bit of sponging. We've got black soot, we've got peacock feathers, and we've got salty ocean. And I'm going to start with my lightest color and just blend on. And generally speaking, I go over it at least 2 times. The odd time it might be 3, but generally speaking, it's twice. This is going to make it, especially with this peacock feathers, it's going to make it a real tealy color. So if you look from the blue that it was, which was it's actually a turquoise sort of blue, but on the camera, it's much more blue. But it's going to change it quite completely, honestly. A little bit of black soot just around the edges, and then we're going to go through and take that color out with the peacock feathers, and so we have a nice background there. I am going to splatter a lot of water over this, let it sit for a couple of seconds, and then wipe it up. The next thing I'm going to do is, this is just some acrylic ink, some Amsterdam, I think it's Amsterdam ink, and the name of it is Titanium White. It's quite runny. I don't paint pretty much with anything else, but I use this for my splatters. It has a nice little eyedropper for getting exactly what you want or how much you want. I did put a little bit of water on it. Did I really need to? Possibly not. They are not as white as maybe if I hadn't have done that. So, as I said before, I've never claimed that I am a pro at this, but I like what I like. And if you like watching YouTube channels and videos like I do, then hopefully I find something that is either entertaining to you or informative. So saying that, if you like what you've seen so far, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, because it really does, like, that interaction between you and me is really handy. The algorithm to sort of go, hey, she's not too bad, you know. And it takes a long time for, you know, I'm not in it to get monetized or anything else. I'm purely in it because I enjoy doing it. But, you know, it's a slow process. With the choose, I am putting a sentiment on this of choose happiness. The happiness, I have put a little bit of foam on the end. I'm going to glue the start of that word just so it's all nice and flat. I have done the same as the sending in the last card with the choose and have a little bit of foam on the end and glue in the center. A little bit of stickles, and here, there, we're just going to ground our element. This is C5, C3 and C1, because the C3 was just honestly not dark enough. Not dark enough at all. Had a little butterfly on the wing, and that's pretty much it. I hope you're well. Take care. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.